Hey there friends, welcome to Pilates Hiit Fitness down under in Australia for a pre-Pilates or a beginner's class. We're doing a HIIT style session where it's interval training, where we will rest for 20 seconds as we prepare for the next exercise, where you will demonstrate 40 seconds of control, stability and strength. This class will build the foundations for all your daily activities. So let's warm up. Take a seat on the mat, roll yourself down slowly. Let's focus on breathing. Place your hands on your ribs as you feel your ribs open and gather. Let's focus on your core alignment, drawing your belly button towards your spine, and also creating that neutral spine, so you have that natural arch in the lower back. Open up the arms into a letter T as we lower the knees to the opposite direction, giving yourself a beautiful spinal stretch. Bring your hands by your side as we float one hand overhead and float it back down. Taking the left hand overhead, almost like there's some balloons tied at the end of your wrist as we float it up and bring it back down. Draw the belly in towards the spine. And keep that really beautiful flow as we warm up the shoulders. You may join the single hand with the other hand and do a double arm float. Keep the fingers long. Really lengthen it out. Try not to arch the lower back too much. There's no need to go all the way over. Really depends on your flexibility. Now we'll take the arms up and take them out to the side. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as it comes down. Watch the ribs, that they don't flare out, as a true indication of you using other muscles other than your inner core. Keep this going, and let's prepare for the first exercise, which is hundreds prep. Take both hands overhead. Slowly pull your head and shoulders off the mat as you reach forward and then come back down. We're starting off with chest curls. If your neck is straining, please place one hand behind the head. You have 40 seconds. Let's move on to the next move. Lower your head down, raise your left leg off the mat and then bring it back down. Raise the right leg into a tabletop and bring that back down. You want to make sure that your hips and your knees are in alignment, keeping that 90 degrees. Keep the hips square. Next, we're going to combine the single knee raises with some arm work. So same knee, same arm as they move in unison. Very important to keep the hips square, keep your balance. Reach up to the ceiling, point the toes, maintaining the 90 degrees in the angle. As we move on, I'm going to introduce you to double toe taps. Hands by your side, realign yourself, recenter, anchor the shoulders as we float both legs up into 90 degrees and back onto the ground. We work on control here, keeping that neutral spine. When you're done, place both feet on the mat, hands behind the head, interlacing your fingers. Let's go into chest curls. So we pull the head and the shoulders off the mat and we bring that back down. As you come up, you exhale. As we come down, you inhale. With Pilates, it's all about progressional movement. So next we have extended curls. We curl up, we extend the hands up, we try to come up a little bit more, hands behind the head, and we lower back down. Or you can curl up, extend the arms, hold it, bring the hands behind the head, and then come down. Your choice. Next we have something super fun. We're going to do shoulder bridges. So finish off your exercise, bring your hands by your side, float both arms up to the ceiling as you slowly peel your spine off the mat and then lower it down. Almost like you've got sticky tape on your back and you're slowly peeling it off the mat. Well, that was some beautiful spinal articulation. The next exercise, I need you to flip over onto your stomach, please, where we'll do a Sphinx. Hands by your side as you draw your elbows towards your hips and then lower it down. It's a nice opening of the chest and lengthening of the spine. Extend those legs out. Next, we're going to do an overhead reach, where you will slowly pull your chest off the mat, reach it forward, and then come back down. So rise, extend those arms out in front, bring it back to 90 degrees and lower it down. We're really looking for this lengthening of the back, but we're still drawing the belly button towards the spine. Fantastic. So when you're finished, please come up onto your knees into a high kneeling position. Arms will come out nice and long, like it's an extension from your collarbone, and we do a spinal twist. Spinal rotation is very important to keep the hips facing the front as we move from the thoracic. Keep it controlled and keep the arms at the same distance, length, so one hand does not collapse in as you rotate. Next we have falling tree. You will stay in that high kneeling position, bring the arms out in front, curl the toes under, elongate your spine as you fall back only as far as you can, and then use that core to bring you forward. You get a really nice stretch to the front of the legs, the thighs. Really extend those arms. Next is around the world, one of my favorites. Here you need coordination, you'll need balance, so you need to draw that belly button in as we raise the left hand, the right hand, the left leg, the right leg, and you continue this. You don't need to reach too far ahead and you don't need to lengthen too far back. Work at your own pace. Now, if you haven't felt the burn yet, you will with the bear hover. Finish your last round of around the world. Stay in this 4-point kneeling position, curl the toes under, and I want you to push away from the mat, opening up the shoulder blades. You're hovering off the mat, so I can still glide a credit card underneath your knees. Draw the belly button in, lengthen the spine and neck. I'm sure after that 40 seconds, you'll look forward to laying down. So let's take it over to the side into a sideline position. You can prompt your head up or lay your head down on your arms like a pillow. Extend the top leg as we open it up into a clam, rotating the hip, extending, bringing it back down and closing the clam. I want you to pretend your back is against the wall and you're not rocking back or forth. Hips are stacked. Your outer glutes are going to start to burn like a hot chili soup. I'd like you to stay here, extend the top leg, and I want you to raise and lower without you collapsing at the waist. So I want that nice little gap, the neutral spine, but a nice gap underneath your waist so a pea could roll under. We don't want to kick, we want to raise and we want to lower. As you wrap up the last slot, bring the knee in. You might need to tap it out. Extend the arms out and roll onto the stomach, and we're going to prepare for cobra. Hands just in front as we extend, opening up the chest, fully extended and coming down. Previously we did the Sphinx. Now I'm after the full extension. Only come up as high as you feel comfortable. And because we hunch most of the day in front of our computers, we've got one more back exercise. Arms out into a letter V, and I literally want you to pretend you're gathering the carpet or the mat, bringing it into your center. When you finish up, Take it over onto the other side for some sideline clam extensions. Hips are stacked. Remember, we lift the knee, we extend the leg, we bring it back down. You do not need to open too far because you'll roll back. Hips need to be stacked above each other. Now as that hip or the outer glute starts to feel that heat, we're going to open the leg, extend it, and we're going to raise and lower. Almost like your toe is a pencil and you're drawing a straight line along the wall. Try not to collapse in the hip or the waist and maintain that neutral spine. After this, we must be due for some relief. So finish up. We'll take it back into a quadruped position or 4-point kneeling and do some cat camel. Really create that nice big C curvature of the spine and sway the back. Now that should feel really nice, releasing any tension in the lower back and the shoulders. After you wrap up here, we're going to start some strength work. Extend both legs out into a plank position. Shoulders above wrists as we draw the belly button in and create that really beautiful diagonal. Maybe glide the shoulder blades down if you feel that there's too much weight on the wrists, or you can take it down onto your elbows. Now that's a strong exercise, but there's nothing more satisfying than to be able to hold your own body weight in that position. Let's start with some deep core work. Obliques, as we float one leg up, we take the opposite elbow to opposite knee. Really working the obliques, the side muscles of our core. Curl up a little bit more and twist a little bit more. We've done all the pre-work leading up to this exercise. We can't do this class without your basic curls. So keep your hands behind your head as it cradles, and we come up and we come down. Let's curl up a little bit more. We did chest curls and we did curls with an extension. So draw that belly button in, really lift. You're not pulling at your head, you're cradling your head. Finish your last few and get ready for leg kicks. Extend one leg up, so let's extend the left leg out as we kick it up and lower it down. We did a very similar exercise. We're on our sideline position. This time we really need to focus on drawing that belly button in, controlling the movement from the hip socket. Finish your last kick here. Lower that leg down and just recenter. Think about the natural curve of the spine. Focus on the breathing. Make sure your hips are square, your protruding bones are still facing the ceiling. And get ready to kick the right leg. Fantastic. Now this is a segue to the next exercise called leg pulls. So extend both legs up to the ceiling, lowering one leg down as we switch from leg to leg and pull that leg in to give the back of the leg a beautiful stretch. Holding on to the calf or anywhere on the leg. You don't need to pull that leg in too far. We're working on coordination and flexibility. Now, because we've done a fair bit of hip movement, lateral, front ways, back ways, we really need to do some single knee fallouts. Here you need to concentrate on keeping one knee facing the ceiling as the other one just falls out slightly. The big toe stays on the mat as you fall out. Now we've got a really fun exercise for you next. Open leg fallouts. One leg straight, the other one is bent. Very similar to what you did earlier. Keep that control, work on your balance, try not to use your hands and grip the ground. Get that inner thigh stretch and the outer thigh strength. When you do your last few here, we will need to take it over to the other side, but before we do, we want to recenter, take breath and take time. And when the time is right, we're going to extend that leg up and lower it down and bring it back to the center. Everyone, you are done. What a beautiful class. Now it's just time to stretch your body out. So rock and roll up, open up those legs into a beautiful V. Arms up ahead as you reach forward. Really articulating that spine, gliding your hands along your mat, getting that full stretch. And bring it up as you stack your spine. Almost like you're diving in a pool. So tuck that chin in, lengthen, reach, reach, reach. Get that nice inner thigh stretch, back of the legs. And especially the back as we reach as far as we can. And inhale as we come back up. Take the arms out nice and wide and rotate. We did this in the warm-up. Arms rotate round at the same time. Really almost like you're wringing out a wet towel. Now let's open up the chest, bring the knees in. We're going to do a reverse plank. Lift the hips up to the ceiling, open up the chest. Slowly come down, then give yourself a really nice hug. Let's do this a few times. Lift those hips up like you're a table. With all the movement that we've done, you should have enough range of movement in your shoulders to push your hips up to the ceiling. If it's too challenging, just don't come up too high or stick with the hug. We need to lengthen. So go into your beautiful child's pose, curl the toes under, which means we can now stretch our toes. Place your right hand over your left and get that really nice lateral stretch, opening up the ribs, your intercostal muscles. Drawing your armpits down towards the mat. Slowly come up onto your tippy toes, open up the knees and lower your elbows down onto the mat. Your last curl for the day. When you're ready, pull yourself up, hands on the knees. Spine elongated, palm to palm. Recenter, close your eyes if you can. Focus on breath, give gratitude, work on your balance, work with the space. Come up when you're ready, get that lengthening at the back of the legs, peel it up. And I want to say thank you for joining for the whole 30 minutes, working at your own pace, focusing on movement and inner strength. I'll see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.